Hello there, campers. My name is Paul Hughes. I am the Lord of Leisure, and welcome to another Aftermath video. Yes, it's that time of day again when I basically go to the cinema, watch something, then come out and pontificate some ramblings to you about how good, bad it was. I figured I'd stand here because of the steamy, naughty picture. So if anything else, the thumbnail for this on YouTube, you just got, oh, he's got like some dirty shit in the background. Oh, it's looking a bit spotty here. But suffice to say, today's Aftermath video is all about Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, which, believe it or not, is not a complete remake from the original film with Robin Williams and so forth. In fact, it is, in a strange sort of way, I'm making sure I get the naughty picture in a strange sort of way, it is actually a continuation in some shape or form from that, where someone else picks up the game in 1996 and then disregards playing the board game because video games are becoming a thing. So while someone is playing on their PlayStation, this is a Sony film as well, as you will no doubt get in the first 10 minutes of huge amounts of product placement for Sony. Buy Uncharted, buy PlayStation everything, buy Sony phones. Once it gets out of the way of all that stuff, it seems that Jumanji, far from just sitting back and falling by the wayside of not being played because it's a board game, although in 2017 one could argue made a bit of a comeback, it turns itself into a video game. So that's the premise of how Jumanji stays relevant in our modern times and so forth. And of course, that's the point where our first victim gets drawn into the game. And then we meet 4 more happy-go-lucky scamps who are various stereotypes of American high schools, the geek that does the jock's homework, the self-obsessed pretty girl who takes Instagram selfies and all the rest of it because she's pretty, and then finally the far too intelligent nerd, the woman who ends up being, hot, because why not? They all get detention at some point, and then they discover the video game in a school cellar that needed to be cleared out for a new computer lab because they all got detention for being chits in some form or another. Obviously, it's the way to bring them together. So they plug the console in, boot up the game of Jumanji. They find, hang on, there's one character they can't select to be. So then they select all the various characters, and that's when they get sucked into the new video game world of Jumanji. And it's actually, to be fair, it's done really, really well. I have been absolutely surprised by this, and this is not bad ways or anything like that. It actually, this was how to continue on without pissing over the original film with Robin Williams in. And actually, there's some pretty nice callbacks. The board game to start with, and then a reference to where Alan might have got stuck in Jumanji when he was stuck in the board game originally. Maybe. But they all become avatars, different characters, when they arrive, and effectively, through thick and thin, they have to conquer their fears, do things they would never do, and become, well, more well-rounded people, and so on and so forth, which basically that was the premise of the original Jumanji as well. This film was absolutely fucking hilarious at times. I mean, it was brilliant. And some of the solutions he came up with some of the dangers that the game was giving them was, well, Kevin Hart is absolutely superb as the sidekick who comes up with random facts because he's a zoologist every now and then. Just and he's like, how the fuck do I know this thing? It's just Jack Black borderline steals everything he's in because he's the shallow girl And he does it incredibly well throughout this. It is just... it was superb acting by Jack Black, absolutely. If nothing else, watch the film just for how he is as a teenage girl who likes to post selfies on Instagram, and he was lost without his phone in a jungle. Yeah, absolutely. The wimpy geek kid, the male character who apparently is Jewish, becomes The Rock and has no weaknesses and basically is built like a brick shithouse and does everything. But again, how he acts is scared of everything, and just, again, as he grows, it's just fantastic. And of course, the love interest, the geek lady who is too intelligent and becomes Karen Gillian, who is, well, to be fair, absolutely smoking hot. Oh yes, smoking hot. And hilarious in herself as well. There's, in a strange sort of way, I kind of want to say some things about, there's some scenes between Karen Gillian and Jack Black. Yeah, just it's whether or not I in a strange sort of way, I don't want to spoil this, because I actually have to recommend this, campers. Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle was actually a very pleasant surprise, very enjoyable, CGI meh, but definitely serviceable, story not too bad. And how it ends as well is quite, nice. It's quite nicely well-rounded. You don't have to stick around to the credits. There's no end scene or otherwise, so don't worry about that. But this actually was a pretty damn good sequel. And when it's on general release later in December, I can only say definitely go watch it. It was all pretty damn good acting. I will say the opening 10 minutes where it's all exposition, the heavy product placement of Sony products, it does, you're not entirely too sure of how it's going to go, and it's a wee bit too stereotypical. But once they enter Jumanji, seriously, that's where it really begins. And I like how they updated it. They had a good number of video game references, including about lives, cutscenes, and yeah, it works. As stupid as it sounds, it absolutely worked. So, that's all I'm going to say for now on this Aftermath video. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Go watch it. You will actually enjoy it. I don't know, there's a lot of, like purists that would say, no, they can't ever do, another Jumanji film. The original was, that's it. Although, as it has been pointed out to me, Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle could actually be a commentary on how games have got easier, because in the original Jumanji, they only had one life, and in this film, they have 3 lives. See? Yeah. And of course, terrible hidden metaphors about situations and then as people. Yay. So, as stereotypical and as a, full-on messages and blah 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 it is, still absolutely fucking hilarious. I wasn't bored once. It was just brilliant. So, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, go watch it, and now I'm gonna go home and nap before the main evening snooze. Until next time, campers, take it easy, and I will see you all again soon. Bye!